is Dr. Deborah Graining Rother, and I'm here with Brooke to give people an idea of what therapy really is. She's going to tell her story. She wants to be here, and it is a demonstration session, so hopefully we can kind of demystify the process for you.
Yeah, so I am a new mother. I've had my daughter for the last 10 months outside of my womb, and during that process of labor was very traumatic for me. I had specifically, my pubic bones got separated about 3 inches, and if anybody knows about the pelvis, it's that it needs to be stabilized in order to operate. I was dealing with a lot of physical trauma. My understanding of therapy is that, therapy is really looking at the past and what you've been through to where you are today, but specifically going through the past and kind of filtering through and smoothing out those, things that happened along the way to really operate optimally where you are here and now. Really getting honest, real, and open with a lot of the emotional trauma, not only from that specific incident, but what I've been through as a child and how that's woven into my experience at birth. But I really feel like the separation of my pubic bones was an indication or a reminder or a physical manifestation of the struggle and the emotional conflict that I've dealt with my parents. Mm-hmm. It's that duality. It's that pull that we all feel.
You broke apart.
That I broke apart, and it's like, we all break. We all have a breaking point, but it happened in my body.
Yeah. Well, you had 2 people that you were relying on, and to have them on either side of you, holding one leg each, is kind of a metaphor for part of what you're struggling with.
Right.
Is the frustration or the conflict.
Right.
That you're in the middle of.
Right. And so, ironically, I've related that back to my mother's relationship with my father, and I've seen the same parallel that my mom and my dad had in their just personalities and the way that they operate and what they contribute to my life. Mm-hmm. Is the same dynamic that my mom and my partner has now.
What dynamic is that?
It's a conflict, but it's also 2 pieces of a whole. Mm. It's 2 pieces of a whole where, my mom gives me a side of, just perseverance, like working through something that may not feel good, mm-hmm. but yet my partner, he is just strong and stable and doesn't change, and it's like he's a man of his word. It's mm-hmm. like it's stable. Mm-hmm. So is this something where how do you work through something that's changing constantly but also stand still? Because I constantly compare my parents' relationship to my relationship that I am in now, and I see that our roles are somewhat similar but yet so different, because I have control and I can respond differently based off of how that played out. But I'm learning that it's what I put into it and how I decide to use that as a reflection to be a better person and to be a better mother. Mm-hmm. And I'm not at a place where I'm like, we're so different and maybe our relationship won't work out, but that's not even my focus. My focus is to be able to work in partnership. Yeah. Work together as a team, mm-hmm. Even if we don't like each other's personality or the way that we come across, how can we communicate better mm-hmm. than my parents did to heal that for my child? That's been my focus.
You can't rush the process.
I can't rush the process.
No, it took you 29 years to get here.
To get here.
And maybe now, do you think you'll want to try therapy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so good to be able to talk to somebody, as you mentioned before, that you don't know, a stranger that doesn't know you, that doesn't have influence in your life, or any agenda really, but that's just present and listening and mirroring, mm-hmm. and really helping you unpack. Literally helping you unpack, and cyclically where you're at, and with every move. And I think every woman that is struggling at all, circumstances somewhat similar or different, needs that assistance.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I think the work that you're doing is so powerful, because every mother needs this. And it's not an end goal or end destination. Like, it's constantly evolving, and it
Yes.
requires different tools, different awareness, and maybe even a different therapist, but
Yeah.
the process is still the same.
The process.
Regardless of your destination, where you're moving, you're just moving.
Yeah, just being where you are right now. And so I think maybe the tears are about not knowing
Not knowing.
and being okay with not knowing. And by modeling that these are deep feelings that you have to kind of try to access, that might not be so easy to access, but also being okay that you don't know yet, you know, where you're going, who you are, who you want to be, and you might need a guide in terms of a therapist to help you in that. In
Yeah.
that transformation to becoming a parent.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for being so open.
Thank you for having me.